What's up, boys and girls? It's your boy, Christopher Alexander Robert Clark-Youngblood. Today is Monday, June 8th, 2026, and it is 12:31 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, coming to you live and direct from the streets of Burbank, California. And what honestly seems to be, in a weird kind of counterintuitive way, the rebounding city of Los Angeles. I think people are fleeing Los Angeles at like an incredible rate, and I think it's making the city better. For the first time, like the last couple weeks, I'm like, maybe I could live here long term. In Burbank, North Hollywood, kind of this area, there's so many vacant buildings. Rent is still super expensive. Obviously, things are very expensive across the board, I think, in kind of all parts of the world and country. But man, if we could cut the population of the city by like 25%, I think it could be a lot cooler. Fraud is out of fucking control in this area, Glendale, Burbank, probably across fucking LA. I don't know, dude. But I can smell it, man. These fake businesses, business fronts, money laundering businesses that are like, have retail spots, brick and mortar spots, but clearly are doing fucking nothing. They're not doing anything. There's nothing there. Either there's no one there, or it's like a travel agency place where some dude's claiming to book you reservations to like Bali, and that's what he does. But no, they're just fronts because there's all this free federal government money coming into the city, be it for like whether it's Medicare, Medicaid, people receiving like refugee status, all this, whatever it is. There's tons of this free government money coming in. Man, I'm going to go way off base. I don't want to go 45 minutes here. Anyway, so I'll fucking start. Anyway, there's tons of fucking fraudulent businesses here. There's tons of free money coming in from the government that people are like basically claiming that they have more people in their hospice or more children in their daycare or what have you, and then they collect extra money. And where's all this extra money coming from? You set up a fraudulent business. That fraudulent business you claim is bringing in income. You see it all over LA, but I think it's being cracked down upon. And so all of these, especially retail shops, are like, that were doing nothing, are like drying up. But it feels calmer, way less homeless people, it seems like. So maybe a lot of the free money is drying up, the government money is drying up, and that's like driving a lot of the nonsense away. Yeah, man. Anyway, I'm going to start ranting and raving more about like politics, society, and government and shit. I actually have a little bit of shit in my notes perhaps I'll rant and rave about here today, but honestly, I don't know. I'll get into it later. For now, I'm really interested in the pursuit of the study of like the broader picture of existence. The study of this cosmic calendars and the history of the universe is my primary interest right now. I will get to the government stuff later. I do want to run for office. I know there's a lot of fucking nonsense out there. I know, fucking running now, dude. Let's do it. Good and evil exists, man. Like we're taught our whole lives. I don't know. Like that's not true. I feel like some of us are introduced into this, like especially if we grew up in a religious household, that this concept of like good and evil exists, heaven and hell, devil and God, whatever. And then as you grow older and get like educated in a more traditional academic manner, you understand the world is much more nuanced than that. And then like the very blatant concept of good and evil, heaven and hell. But I think there's also a part of human development where you come back like this full 360. You're like, holy shit, there's like kind of good and evil, and it's within all of us, and it's within everything, and it's incumbent upon you as an individual to make sure that you're acting the most out of good and promoting good within the world, because not everyone is doing that, and there's certainly forces that exist that perhaps aren't even conscious that they're acting in like a perhaps sociopathic, psychopathic way, and it's incumbent upon all of us to recognize good and like the higher vibration of human existence, the higher path, taking the higher path, and we can all do that in our own lives in every second of the day in big and small ways. But sometimes that's a lot more difficult to do, or takes a lot more effort, a lot more time, or a lot more patience. Anyway, good and evil exists, man, and that makes life very difficult and can make it seem like nihilistic or almost not worth living or futile in a way. But I really want to start reframing my own life using that as like, like this video game. Like if there wasn't evil or bad out there, well, there wouldn't be good. There wouldn't be a purpose. If everything was good and awesome in this utopia, like you need the good for the bad. You need up to down. You need an opposite of yourself to even have the understanding of the counter position. Otherwise, it would be kind of nothing. Everything would just kind of be plain in nothingness, right? And perhaps that's ultimately to where we're headed. That's kind of the place I try to establish in meditation is like a state of nothingness, which feels very good and peaceful. And I think, meditation a lot of ways is preparation for death. And so there's so much tumult. The existence can be very tumultuous, and we are caught in this struggle, perhaps, of good versus evil. But in the end, it does seem like we're all kind of going to this state of peaceful nothingness, perhaps, or everythingness. I don't mean that in like a nihilistic, atheistic way. A state of calm everythingness and nothingness at the same time. That's what I try to find in a meditation. It feels almost like a preparation for death. But death of this earthly body doesn't necessarily mean the end of existence, so to speak. Anyway, what the fuck is going on? Try to be your best. Because not everyone is, and there are big major forces at play right now that are like acting against you. Like demons might be fucking real. But there might be active forces like that are just trying to promote negativity across the board. I think they kind of are. So all of us as individuals need to act in our own lives, try to always take the higher path, and then collectively we can work progressively towards the betterment of existence, humanity, whatever this is, the conscious experience we're all having together. Anyway, I have more notes on like more explicit like governmental shit, aliens, things like that I may get to, but I want to get this fucking cosmic shit out of the way because it's the stuff I can the study of the cosmic calendar, the progressive study of the timeline of the universe, is stuff I can't really riff about at this point right now. So let me get that off the dome at the top because I was just reviewing my notes and got notes in front of me and shit. All right, so we're studying the cosmic calendar, right? The alleged Big Bang all the way up until 2026. And I'm trying, if you break the entire history of the universe, 14 million years down into 52 weeks in a year, it's about 265 million years of cosmic time every week. I'm going to start rounding it up to 300 million just to keep it close in my head. And honestly, and once again, I must reiterate, like, this is all like science as we know it today in 2026. This shit is going to change. This may be all fucking illusion. Like we may be little fucking player characters in some alien video game and all of this stuff about Big Bang and quarks and gluons and galaxies and proto-galaxies and black holes and shit. That might all be fucking nonsense programming in this, computer generated reality or, something much more intricate than that. I don't fucking know. But as far as material reality here in 2026, this is what we know. Big Bang happens. There's nothing. It's everything and nothing before that. I guess there's nothing before that. This is the beginning as we know it. The universe is nothing at that point. It's just what is known as a quark-gluon plasma, not even protons or neutrons. Eventually, this incredibly hot and dense universe immediately starts expanding but cooling. As it cools, we get the formation of actual atoms, right? Composed of protons, neutrons, electrons, which are further composed by quarks. When the quarks cool into actual atoms, protons, neutrons, and electrons, we get this recombination that occurs, and the universe becomes transparent, and we're able to actually like see the universe for the first time, kind of starts lighting up, and this is known as recombination. This occurred about 380,000 years into the universe's existence. Right after that, not a ton happens. We have the cosmic dark ages. Not a ton is happening for millions and millions and millions of years, except these tiny density fluctuations are starting to occur within this like plasmatic soup of the universe. And this is what's going to be eventually will form into the cosmic dark web. I get nervous when I'm fucking talking about shit I don't know what I'm talking about. I pick my fingernails. Here we go. So we got the cosmic dark web forming. We're now about 300 years into the 300 million years into the universe's existence, and then we hit what is known as the cosmic dawn. The first stars of the universe are lighting up, and these are known as population 3 stars. Population 3 stars are composed entirely of helium and hydrogen, the first elements in the universe's existence, composed of these initial protons, neutrons, and electrons. These population 3 stars are not like stars we know today. They're very short-lived. They burn very hot. They burn out very fast, and they explode into what are known as supernovae. And when they explode, not only do they form black holes, but they also release incredible energy that is so powerful that it starts to rip the electrons off of the helium and hydrogen that are out there floating in the universe. This process is known as reionization, and it's very crucial because it kind of like sparks and prepares the whole universe and all the helium and hydrogen atoms in the universe to start recombining and like finding other partners, and eventually that'll lead to the formation of new elements, metals, heavier metals. Now we're about, this is about week 2, so 0 to 300, 300 to 600 million years into universe existence. This process of reionization is well underway, and a new term that I discovered this week is known as the intergalactic medium. The intergalactic medium, I guess this is kind of what the plasmatic soup of the universe matures into, is largely ionized through this process of reionization. Population 2 stars growing very hot and very fast, exploding into supernova, releasing incredible energy, reionizing the universe. What is now known as the intergalactic medium of the universe. I don't know. It's just a new term that I discovered recently. When those population 3 stars explode and collapse, they're starting to form black holes. All right, so let's put like a pin in that. Black holes are gonna play a very important role in all of this. These population 3 stars, the forces of gravity are acting upon them as they're burning very hot and very fast and exploding. But the forces of gravity are acting upon them, and they're starting to come together. These objects come together, forming the building blocks of the first galaxies, known as proto-galaxies. These proto-galaxies then start kind of colliding together. Right now, we're approaching like 1 billion years into the universe's existence, 500 million to 1 billion years in the universe's existence. We see proto-galaxies forming. These proto-galaxies kind of colliding together. And the collisions of galaxies, all of this colliding is very important for the formation of all of the structures we know in the universe today. Week 4, so you got 0 to 300 million, 300 to 600 million, 600 to 900 million, 900 million to 1.2 billion years into the universe's existence. The cosmic web, remember these initial density fluctuations that were kind of popping up in that initial plasmatic soup of the universe? It's like, for what I'm learning, is like this, I don't know if it's invisible or visible structure of the universe, like a soccer net basically, like underlies this like textile, this like quilted nature of the universe itself. It's known as this cosmic web. The web structures, I guess what you know is like the strings of the net, I believe are composed of dark matter, what are known as dark matter filaments. And where those webs intersect, at those intersection points, that's where the galaxies are coalescing. And this is starting to become, this structure of the universe is really starting to take place as we're crossing over into like the 1 billion year mark of the universe's life. What is also taking place around this 1 billion year mark is population 2 stars are starting to form. No longer population 3 stars composed entirely of hydrogen and helium, but these population 2 stars are composed of metals, heavier metals. Oxygen. Is oxygen a fucking metal? Oxygen is a gas. Iron. I have a list. What are my notes? Iron. Shit. Metals. Iron. Okay, iron. Carbon. Is carbon a metal? Anyway, fucking metals, guys. You guys know what metals are. Here we go. Carbon, oxygen, iron, silicon. That's in my notes. Of course, carbon, oxygen, iron, silicon is what these population 2 stars are composed of. No longer. These are more durable, longer lasting, more stable, calm stars that are now composing these proto-galaxies that are forming at the intersections of the cosmic web. These proto-galaxies are starting to collide together, which are going to form the galaxies that we know today, including the Milky Way itself. The Milky Way now kind of entering into week 5, which was last week's focus. The Milky Way is starting to come on the scene. Another term I discovered this week is Milky Way progenitor. Milky Way progenitor, which is like an unnecessarily scientific way of saying the like Milky Way baby, the beginning of the Milky Way. Galaxies are colliding together. Gravity is forcing these collisions. Gravity is also causing the galaxies to take this kind of spinning shape. So you have these smaller protogalaxies colliding together, but all kind of spinning at the same time. Kind of like, I guess, like tops. You spin the tops and have them collide together. Stars are continuing to like live and die, though. At this point, we've gone through generations of star deaths, right? Generations and generations of stars. So the universe is now like really enriched with heavy metals that are the building blocks for future planets, future meteors. The building blocks for the universe that we know today. Crossing into week 6. So this is now this is episode 106, right? So this is week 6 of the universe's existence. Week 6. 0 to 300. I'm not going to do it again. Week 6, it's like isn't it like one? Week 0 would be 0 to 300. Week 2 would be 300 million to 600 million. Week 3 would be 600 million to 900 million. All right, just times 3. Week 4, 9 to times 12. So week 6 is going to be 1.5 billion to 1.8 billion. Damn, are we already that far in? We're going to be 2 billion years next week. Fuck yeah. Okay, in week 6. So roughly 1.5 billion years to 1.8 billion years into the universe's existence, we're approaching peak star formation. Stars are forming at a rate certainly faster than they ever have up to this point in the universe's existence. And in week 7, I believe we're going to reach like the peak of star formations. But the point is stars, population 2 stars, are forming at an incredible rate. Far faster than they do today. Like, it's hard to say. This is all like, but 10 to 100 times faster than they start today. And with star formation and star death, come black holes. This is also the most active period of black hole growth. A lot of stars living and dying, a lot of black holes forming from their death. The cosmic web at this point, very well established. Galaxies forming at the intersection of those dark web filaments of the cosmic web. Galaxy formation is no longer this random thing that's happening out there. The cosmic web, gravity is forcing galaxy formation to occur exclusively at these intersections. And galaxies, I love this term that I found in the research this week, is that galaxies are social creatures. Galaxies want to find each other. They want to collide with each other. They want to merge and form larger, more robust galaxies. And that's week 6. Peak star formation, black hole formation is like rampant, right? There's a very fertile time, fertile stellar time in the universe's existence. The cosmic web is solidifying itself. Galaxies are really starting to get to know each other, really starting to mate, merge, collide. It's chaotic, but ultimately builds more robust galactic structures. That's it. That was way faster. So next week, week 7, we'll be crossing into the 2 billion year mark of the universe's existence. And we're just going to keep this bitch rolling, dude. I'm really going to I don't want to say that, but we're going to keep this bitch rolling. I want to get done with this stuff like around next year, kind of lead me into my own personal life here. Nannying still. It is looking like I think I'm probably going to go back into teaching. I've been thinking about this for a while. Obviously, I need stable income here in LA. And I really want to start fucking traveling, dude. I was talking to my sister this week. I met up with her this weekend, actually. She lives in Ventura. She travels a lot, does a good job of incorporating travel into her life. Dude, I haven't taken like a personal, I just want to explore this place vacation. This is such a first world fucking problem. But since 2019, I've gone on vacations. I've visited family. I've gone to weddings and bachelor parties. I've had to visit romantic partners. But I haven't just like, dude, I want to go explore this new place. That used to be the kind of bane of, or formation of my life is kind of structured that around like that in a way for a little bit. In a way, my life's always been kind of random. I would like to take the reins of my life and start living in a much more intentional manner. In I don't know, the coming decade before I have kids. So, yeah, I think teaching will allow me to bring like structure back not only to my daily existence. I have good structure in my daily existence, but I guess more so in my like medium-term existence, the year to year, and being able to plan vacations and shit like that. And knowing, there's going to be income coming in and shit like that. So we'll see. It would be cool to keep doing this podcast. Like get a teaching job this next school year, do this podcast, continue the study of the formation of the universe up into basically like modern or like humanity by this time next year. And then start using my vacations as a teacher to take like the studies on the road. Because what I think would be really cool is when we get into the study of humanity, obviously. Like, where do we come from? Like, that's the interesting shit, people, at least for me. And we can visit those places, right? I can't take a fucking spaceship out into, the early universe. So it'd be cool to say, allegedly, humanity starts in Africa, go to fucking Lesotho or something, and, explore where early humanity started and then track humanity all throughout the globe. This is like very kind of big dreams, and I'm pushing 40 here and I do it out of a family, but man, we only have one shot at this life. And I feel like I've done that in so many ways. I just haven't done it I've packed a bag and just traveled aimlessly throughout the earth and I covered large parts of it. And so I know that part I can accomplish. It's just the funding it and maintaining like a stable enough existence to maintain psychological stability. Because what I've also found is when I've done those vagabond trips throughout Latin America, shit like that, you get very lonely and a little psychologically unstable. So I feel like I've reached a point of greater psychological stability in my life, but a lot of that is based on having like a very boring day-to-day routine. So if I can have both, right, have a boring, a good friend of mine, because I used to just want to just like live on the road and travel aimlessly, like live out a backpack for years and years and years. I think maybe the better way is to like have an established home base that you can come back to, but then go out on like big adventures for 2 months at a time potentially. It'd be sick if I could work for 9 months teaching, save $5,000 to $10,000, let's say $5,000. $10,000 would be sick, right? $10,000 budget for a vacation every summer to go continue the exploration of this life we live. I don't want to just take random vacations to Bali and then Hawaii. I would like to have like a more systematic, studied approach to like the exploration of the entire planet, guided by the study of all of humanity in a chronological way. That being, on that note, a couple of fucking points that popped in my head through the week is I'll start jotting them down, and like I think I'm gonna start including them here that are not cosmic calendar studies, that are not my personal life fucking ramblings, but just comments I want to make. Humanity is way older than we think. Like I don't know what it is. Whatever we think, however old we think humanity is, I don't even know, dude. I should know. Like 100,000, let's say it's 100,000 years. Like we were taught in elementary school, the first human beings were 100,000 years old. It's not that, dude. It's way fucking older. And I really believe we've gone through these like waves of development, or like humanity was very developed, then something terrible happened, wiped almost everyone out, and we had to basically start over. So I think the progress of humanity is not just like this linear fucking thing to where now we're Homo sapiens in 2026 that are like the peak of the human chain, and then we're just going to keep going. Nah, man, I think we got to points of incredible development, fucking hit by a meteor, had to restart. Points of incredible development, hit by a meteor, had to restart. I think it's very possible, like, let's say we're here in 2026. Dude, I think it's possible we were, like, way up here before. I think megalithic structures throughout the world point to that, the pyramids in Egypt being the most obvious. And I think there's a good fucking chance extraterrestrials are involved. I think there's a solid fucking chance that that primate DNA, so like aliens came down, found fucking monkeys, fucked them, or like edited their genetics and made us. Or perhaps early humans, whatever the fucking earliest humans came down, fucked the earliest humans or edited their genetics. That's probably not fucking, right? Because they're different biological bodies. But dude, the whole alien thing is like, who fucking knows, dude? It's like, they don't have to be these biological creatures, right? It could be like thought, or not even thought. Like, well, I don't know, an intention or something, or they could take whatever form they want, But I think 100%, 100%, there's other beings out there, and I think they might be responsible for our very existence. Like I think we might be part alien or something like that, or like they injected consciousness and love or whatever it is into early primates. There's specific theories that like it was a race of aliens called the Anunnaki, and they came down and like edited primate DNA specifically to harvest gold because their planet was being like devoured by the sun or something, and they needed gold to suspend in their atmosphere. Like there's specific fucking things. And so basically they created like we're like a slave race to this alien race because they need us to fucking harvest gold. Which, and now we basically still pursue gold in different forms. So anyway, humanity's way older than we think. Probably helped build the pyramids. Dude, I'm getting reports. Spaceship under the pyramids. Or some sort of like non-human creation underneath the pyramids. The pyramids were not just some fucking pyramid. They weren't just some fucking like, oh, look, we made a fucking giant triangle. No. They served a purpose. And there wasn't a tomb. It wasn't like a giant, oh, we buried our dead people here. No. Like an active purpose. Like electricity, perhaps like a Wi-Fi electricity emitter or something like that, or a portal to another fucking universe. There's more shit in there and under there than the government, of course, the fucking government is keeping it all under wraps because they got this money machine going. Like, oh, come visit the pyramids. There's mummies here. There's buried people. No. Way more than that. I'm not a fucking Egyptologist or anything, but I just know these things. Machu Picchu, the pyramids, Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, a bunch of megalithic structures throughout the world that I would love to visit. All of these in my dream of traveling the world and trying to get to the bottom of where we came from, how old we are. These megalithic structures throughout the world are pointing us in this direction. They're like clues, like, dude, it's not the traditional timeline. You think of like Darwin's evolution from fucking measles, fucking, I'm trying to say some like small underground creature, moles or some shit, into monkeys and humans. No, something happened. And it's older. It's way older, more intricate, more complicated. Our story than we think it is. What other little notes? Aliens are real. Good is even real. Maybe God. But that doesn't necessarily mean that God isn't real. Like maybe God exists as well. Like God created this vast, fucking intricate universe with angels and demons and, this kind of aligns with religious texts, right? Angels and good aliens and bad aliens and. Fuck, we're all caught in the middle of it all, and it's up to us to like choose the right path, and it's kind of sick, right? It's kind of like this fucking really cool video game. There's also kind of, then you could be like, no, maybe the aliens created God to keep us in line, keep us in the book. So like, I don't know. I really want to start studying religion too. Like once I get to the point of the study of the universe existence where we get up to like the first religious text and shit like that, I want to start reading all those texts, man. I hope I live for a million years. And then I think as far as the future of religion, all that stuff, we got to get you got to get psychedelics back in the game. All the psychedelic plants from throughout the world, we got to find them, study them all, take them all, and that's going to help us really start developing our understanding of powers greater than ourselves. And finally, I'll leave us all on this note. Guys, the government's out of fucking control. We know this. Don't trust the government at any level. The government should be as small as fucking possible. It should ensure like your personal safety. And that people aren't stealing your shit, and that's it, man. It's not here to like guide us through life every step of the way. It's too much. The more free shit you give away, the more money you print, it harder it becomes all of us to live our lives and pursue our dreams. I know a lot of the shit is good and is well intentioned, and I know like elements of the government, individuals in the government are very well intentioned, and they're trying to like help people live a better life, and I really sympathize with that. But there are bad actors, just like good and evil exists. So good people giving away free shit to people in need, there will be just as much, if not more, bad people stealing that free money for themselves. And we all have to pay for it, and it traps us all in this like cycle of lack of development. From an economic standpoint, like we're just constantly printing money, so the value of the dollar goes down, so everything becomes more expensive, and so we're less able to progress as a species. Not to mention the regulations that are placed on medicine and space exploration, and the government and mega corporations are in bed together, not to ensure the health and safety of the individual, which is the intent of government, but it is to ensure the continued profit of the corporate structure, the corporate powers that are in place. So the function and role that the government is playing right now is to serve corporations and their profits. That's the priority number one. And it's done under the guise of helping you and me. But it's not. It's not. It's a lie. It's a sham. Government is like mom and dad. Humanity is like their newborn baby. At some point, we did need kind of this structure to help us live in modern society and form civilization. But technology and the internet and the advent of capitalism and global economy and global commerce has drastically reduced the need for this, parenting role. And humanity is now like an adolescent or a young adult leaving their mom's house. The internet is like college or university, especially AI now, right? It's like the information is out. We got it. We don't need people to tell us like right from wrong and what everything is. We got it ourselves. We just need to make sure that like we're not all going to kill each other and steal each other's shit, which is a very minimal role of government that's based on like rule of law enforcement. So humanity's ready to become an adult, and we need to drastically reduce the size and role of government across the world. We don't need these massive federal governments, sovereign nations creating arbitrary boundaries, keeping people locked into like tiny little spaces where they're only allowed to live in this geographic territory. No, humanity should be allowed to flow and flourish throughout the globe, and every individual on the planet should be allowed to pursue their dreams in every square corner of the earth without the restrictions of these governmental forces that possess a monopoly on violence and weapons, with all of that power coming from stealing money from their individual citizens, like this sick cycle where they're supposed to be helping us or protecting us. Instead, they're just stealing our money to keep us in a box. I'll break that down hopefully more eloquently and more tangibly for the rest of my fucking life, because I understand that concept, that government needs to be drastically reduced across the world, and humanity, and the individual human being needs to be freed. I understand that as a truth in my being more purely than like honestly knowing that my name is Alex. I don't know how to explain that to you any more clearly. Like, I know that yoga is good and exercise is good and drinking water is good. I also know that government needs to be reduced. Like, I love my mom. I know that without like thinking about it. I also know that government is way out of fucking control and in bed with corporations. And that's to the detriment of all of us. So that's kind of like a goal to continue pursuing. But also keep in mind, dude, it's great. We're here. We're alive. I fucking almost died in a mountain a couple weeks ago. I'm fucking here. Yeah. The world's a very fucking cool and interesting place, and we're trapped in this game of good and evil, so be good, and then it's like you get to wake up and be a good guy in this fucking video game every day. All right. I love you all. Peace.